Tensura X Gate. Thus the JSDF fought their XHDARHRTK by Noru-Sensei. Excel Walter Pav. I'm currently looking out on the shore from my palace thinking about the past. I excel Walter, despite of me being at least in my 20s. Look in my appearance. I'm already more than 500 years old in age. I'm also the Duchess of Lagoon City, and the Admiral of Elfrienden Kingdom's Navy. Remembering back my past, I had multiple husbands before. Let me explain. Since we see serpents live longer than humans, we don't die unless we are killed in battle or in diseases. But I didn't. Those diseases led in my domain. But then again, I'm lonely. No, I have to stay strong for them. I am the oldest after all. Then suddenly someone knocks on the door. Excel-sama, may I come in? A servant said. I then fixed myself and looked at the door. Come in. I gave permission. The door then opened and the servant came inside. She bowed to me and went in front of my desk as I sit on the chair. There is someone who wishes to see you right now, she said. Who could see me right now? It can't be Canaria, since she must be into Parnum right now for tomorrow's exam by that new King Soma. If it is not her, then who might be the guest? I thought to myself. Who is the visitor? I asked the servant. It is a woman in her 20s with bluish silver hair and pure golden eyes. Excel-sama. The servant replied. A woman in her 20s with bluish silver hair and pure golden eyes. Wait, why does it ring a bell? I asked myself. Now if you are asking why does it ring a bell to me? That is because of my mother's story from a certain tale she once told me. This mother of ours is a true dragon. At first I thought about the Star Dragon mountain range, but I was wrong. My mother once told me. If you are lucky enough to meet her in the future, please just call her Okasama, just like you call me. She is the mother of all races after all. So Excel, always remember our creator. She was said to have bluish silver hair and pure golden eyes that see through your very soul once you look into her eyes. Also, she often likes to look like she is in her 20s or in 16-18 years old. Once that meets the description above and someone said to have saw her. Then that is her, our very mother, our dear creator. My mother said to me as she pets my head and smiles. Her name was, then the flashback finished here. Excel-sama, the servant calls me and that bring me back to reality. Please guide her here. I ordered the servant. She salutes and left the room. Is it really her? I asked myself in disbelief. Few seconds later the servant then knocks on the door and said. Excel-sama, I have already brought the guest here. Come in, I managed to say in a calm voice. The opens, then I saw that exact person in description. She has a very beautiful bluish silver hair and that pure golden eyes that sees through you with a single glance. Just like what my mother described. I was so astonished in her beauty and those perfect body curves. She is a literal goddess. I thought to myself as I saw her. You must be Excel Walter, correct? She asks. I managed to say, but in a nervous voice. What is she doing here? She is the mother, our creator. I can't believe that I saw her right now. I thought in amazement and in panic. You don't have to be that nervous, my child, she said in a voice that every mother does when they comfort their children. I just came here to see you after all, and also I have something to talk about. She added. Why do I want to hug her so much all of a sudden? I asked myself. She then smiles to me and said. You will not carry those burden alone anymore, Excel. You did so great to hold it together until now. She says all of a sudden. I remembered. Her name was Rimmeru, that was her name. I finally remembered her name. I then went to her and hugged her while I began crying on her chests. Okasama is right. I was all alone after my last husband died. I missed this kind of warmth from a loving mother. I said to myself as I buried my face more on her chest. There now. Don't cry now, Excelchan. I'm already here at your side. Okasama comforts me while she pats my hair. 2. They been bottling these emotions up, Okasama. 2 don't want to be alone again. I said to her as I cry. I am not going anywhere, Excelchan. I will stay at your side. Okasama said to me as she hugs me tight. Rimmeru Pav. Excel cried a lot. She didn't notice that I already stopped the time momentarily to give her some more time to cry. To be honest, this is not bad to be a mother. I'm already starting to like this a bit. I honestly thought to myself as I hugged Excel, who was still crying. So you were also observing the new king? Excelchan asks me as I nodded. After some time Excel stops crying, then she started to notice that I stopped the time. She was amazed by it, then she apologized that she have shown that side of her. I said it was alright since she is my child. But she was so embarrassed by it that she pouted. How cute, I thought to myself as I giggled to her and gave a smile. I then started the discussion about their new king, Soma Kazuya. And so we are here at this point, she asks me, and I nodded in response. Yes, I was, especially his speech that he gave earlier and that reforms he has been doing. I said. What do you think of him, Okasama? Could we trust and serve under him? She asks me a question. From what I can see for now, he is a good king. Soma has a potential to be a great king in the future. I gave my observation. I see, you see, Okasama. I wanted to investigate King Soma if he was really a good king or not. So I sent my granddaughter Juna, or as of right now Canaria, to observe and see it herself if he was worthy to serve under him or not. As of right now it depends on her letter that Canaria will send to determine whether to go against him or serve under him. Excelchan explains. Interesting, I said in amazement. Then, I will go to King Soma Kazuya himself tomorrow. I decided. Huh, are you sure about your decision, Okasama? Excel worryingly asks me. Yes, I am sure, dear. I said to her while smiling. Don't worry about me, I will not do anything to the new king. I just want to meet him in personal, that's all. I added. But Okasama, how will you get to Parnam tomorrow if you are here? It takes 2 days to arrive at the royal capital. Excel worryingly asks. Did you already forgot who I am? I said to her teasingly. Oh no, pardon for my rudeness, Okasama. She apologies and bow. It's fine, I was just teasing you, I said in a teasing voice. Excel then had a red face out of embarrassment. Then she pouts again. How cute. Then, I will just hear then and let's talk more. I said as I took a seat. Pardon me if this question is rude, but Okasama, aren't you gonna leave? She asks. Ah, that's right, I forgot to tell you. I can stay here and go that exam tomorrow at the same time. I proudly said. What do you mean, Okasama? She tilts her head. It means I can just have my parallel existence. I answered her question. Parallel existence? What is that, Okasama? She asks. Then I explained to her what is parallel existence. Ah, speaking of parallel existence, I also have it back in Tempest. Basically, in order for me to leave Tempest for a while for an adventure, I need to leave my parallel existence to continue those paperwork. Don't worry, since it has my consciousness also there, I know when to really sign it or not. Anyway, as I finished explaining it to Excel. I see, but one more thing, Okasama. Excel said as it seems she wants to say something. What is it, dear? I smiled at her. Anu, when are you going to remove the time stop? She asks me, then I suddenly realized it. Ah, no worries, dear. I will remove it right now. I said in a panic as I remove the time stop. Comma 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 comma. Dot. Rimmeru's parallel existence POV. Now that I got the letter, I need to show to Canaria, or should I say Excelchan's granddaughter Juna. I already teleported myself inside her room. As I teleported inside, she was currently looking out of the window, looking at the moon. So, you must be Canaria that Excelchan talks about. Or should I say, Juna Doma, her granddaughter? I asked to her. She then turned to me looking surprised. She looks at me with a bit of cautious and her guard is up as if she is looking at me like her possible enemy. Well, it's my fault anyway. I better fix this soon. I thought to myself as I looked at her smiling. Who might be you? And how did you get in here? She asks as she ready into her combat stance. Era, now I am not your enemy, Junachan. I came here personally to talk to you. I said to reassure her as I show her the letter. Juna looks at the letter suspiciously at first, but when she saw the seal, she already knew it came from Excel, her grandmother. She then relaxes herself, then took the letter from my hand. After Juna have read the letter. I am very sorry for my actions, Okasama. Juna said nervously as she bows her head. I already knew this will happen when Excelchan was just writing that letter. I thought to myself as I had a troubled expression on my face. Do not sweat it, it is just normal to be suspicious at me, especially that I suddenly teleported to your room. I said to reassure her. But Juna tries to say something. Don't worry about it, okay? I got close to her and patted her head as I smiled at her. After some time we chatted for a bit for what are our plans for tomorrow. I made her a snack and she liked it so much. After that she falls asleep into my lap. I can't wait for it. I thought to myself as I look into the window. Soma Kazuya Pa. The fact that I understand the language spoken in this country, and conversely, that they can understand my Japanese, is apparently due to some strange power that summoned heroes get. That's not all, I can read and write both worlds' languages. It's like it's getting automatically translated in my head as I write it. Incidentally, it seems that there's only one language to speak of in this world. As implausible as it may sound, the people of this world all use the same language. Putting that aside, this automatic translation ability I've been imbued with appears to only work on me. For instance, if I play the recordings that I have saved on this phone, the people of this world hear it as an unintelligible foreign language. It's all so strange, I thought to myself as I was finally finished from those paperworks. Lisha Elfriend and Pa. Someday, Lisha, you'll be in a position to lead this kingdom. Soma said to me. I just stared at him as there was a long silence between us. Then he turned his back on me and continued speaking. So I wanted you to be aware of this stuff. That way, after I'm gone, the country will still be in good hands. Soma says to me as if that he is preparing his farewell. Then I woke up. I then got up on my bed as I put my left hand on my chest as I recalled his words to me. But beyond that, I'll leave any further decisions in the hands of the people. And of course, you can cancel our engagement. I can still remember exactly what Soma said to me clearly. I know Soma said those things, but did he mean them? I thought to myself as I look on the window to see the morning sky. He says he wants more useful personnel, but this country really needs Soma more than anything. Then I recalled I asked him a question. Did you leave any family behind in your other world? Or a girlfriend, or anything? I asked while I was handling the horse. Nope. He answered to my question. I am now standing and looking on the window as I recalling some of our conversation. He said he had no family left in the world he's from, so if I wonder if becoming a part of his family would anchor him here. I then looked at the sky with a newfound determination and goal. AA's his fiancée, if I can just make our marriage a fait accompli. Then someone knocks on the door. Yua, I said in surprise and my face turns red as I looked at the door. Himisama, it is time to get up. Someone said in a familiar voice said from the other side of the door. Of course. I'm already up, I replied in flustered voice. The doors opened to see a ever-familiar maid enters to my room. Oh, is something the matter? You look rather flustered. The maid named Serena asks me. Eats nothing. I was just, you know. I flushed as red as a tomato as I try not to make eye contact to Serena. Giggles, she teasingly laugh. Himisama, today is the day His Majesty is holding a function to honor those who are especially outstanding among those he recruited. Serena said as she handed out my uniform. That it is, I said as I received my uniform. You will be also in attendance, so please make haste with your routine. She reminds me. As I was changing my clothes. I understand that there were a lot of people who responded. I said as I put on the uniform. Yes. So many, in fact, that there was some grumbling about there being too many candidates to ever get through. Serena casually said. I'll bet if Soma heard that, he would say, every second you spend complaining is a second you could be working. I said to her as I finished fixing the button of my military uniform. Third POV. In the castle's guest room. There is a man named Pancho who is currently nervous to face the new King Soma as he was seated on the couch. Is something the matter? A man asked. Pancho then looks at a man who is wearing a traditional black Japanese kimono. You seem quite out of sorts. The man said. Oh, no. My talent has been recognized, but the thought that I'm about to go before the king has me terribly nervous, yes. Pancho holds the back of his neck as he looks down. After all, my talent is. The man listened and had come to an idea to himself. Rimmeru, parallel existence POV. I'm currently inside the chamber with Juna-chan and the rest. The only difference is that only Juna knows my existence while the rest do not. Also the rest of them except for the Dark Elf and me are kneeling in front of the King of Elfrienden, Soma Kazuya. Also one more thing, I am currently invisible to the others but not to Juna. I don't have any presents for them right now. That Dark Elf, does she plans to be killed here? I thought to myself. You are in the presence of His Majesty the King. Bow your head. A knight seems to be the head of the royal knights said to the Dark Elf. Currently, this audience is being broadcast via crystal cast to the whole capital, towns, and villages of the kingdom. But that will be a different story. Anyway, back to the current situation. A man who is wearing green commoner's clothing and a bit big then do the Dagoza. Looks like that his nervousness is in this much. Well, I don't blame you though. I tote to myself as I look at the ordeal in sight. Such is not the custom of my tribe, so I ask your forbearance. The dark elf told them. Huh. The nervous man looked at the dark elf. He probably already realized it. I thought to myself as I tried my best to stop my laughter. Warriors of our tribe bow to no one but our master. The dark elf declared. What did you say? Be that as it may, the head knight readered in dislike. It's all right. Their king Soma said is to stop the head knight. The head knight looks at his king in worried expression. I'm the one who asked them to lend the kingdom their talents. We shouldn't be so uptight. Soma the king added. As your majesty desires. The head knight replies as he faces back to them. The rest of you, please stop bowing down. I am in the position of asking your help. Please, stand at ease. Soma said as he stands up out of his throne. The first one to stand was a man in black traditional Japanese kimono. Then as was followed by Juna, the wolf girl and the big man who was very nervous before, but not that nervous now. Master, you are wrong about the little girl. She is not just an ordinary wolf but she is a mystic wolf. Seal informed me. I then activated the thought acceleration by 1,000,000,000 times to have a short conversation with Seal. Mythic wolf. I asked Seal. Mystic wolf race are humanoid beings with partial animalistic characteristic of wolf ears and tail. This individual name is Tomo Inui. She, and her family are members of this race. The mystic wolves currently have a monopoly on the production of miso and soy sauce. Seal explained. So they have soy sauce and miso here. I interestingly said. You are correct, master. However, Soma Kazuya and the others aside from Tomo and the individual named Poncho who was nervous earlier knows that these exist. Seal gave the additional information. I then stopped the thought acceleration. By the order of His Majesty, the gifted of this nation have gathered themselves at the capital. The ones assembled before us are those who have shown exceptionally rare ability from among them. The elf who seems to be a prime minister. Then paused for a second. Master, he is a half-elf named Marx. And you are correct, master, he is currently the prime minister of Elfrenden Kingdom. Seal commented. I see. I casually said to Seal. We will now announce the talents these people possess, and present them with their awards. Lady Aisha Udgard, Dark Elf of the Sacred Forest. Please, step forward. As Marx, the Prime Minister said that, the Dark Elf named Aisha Udgard then took a step forward. Soma Kazuya Pav, a Dark Elf. I thought to myself as I am currently looking at the page where there is the Dark Elf race's description. Now why do I have a book, you ask? Well, I do not have them physically, but using living poltergeist. I can have my consciousness in there inside my room. Then I found the page I needed. Dark Elves. They rank as a minority within the Elfrenden Kingdom, and are a people possessing elevated combat skill. They live in the sacred forest, said to be guarded by divine forces, and are allowed autonomy over the forest as its protectors. A tribalistic group, they rarely interact with other races. It's nice to be able to read a book remotely like this. This open hollow corner bracket living poltergeist close hollow corner bracket thing sure comes in handy. I thought to myself as I smirk. This woman has demonstrated remarkable proficiency in combat. It is fair to say that her ability is foremost in the kingdom, and we commend her for that. Marx summaries it. The kingdom's foremost military prowess. I have high hopes for you. I told to her. Sire, as I have been recognized to be without equal in the nation, is it true that I am to receive an award? She asks. Yes, that's what I promised. I said to her, I would like to forego this award. Instead, I ask that you hear my request. The Dark Elf Aisha said. This one causes Ludwin to then raise a sword, but I stopped him on time. Then he bows to me. What is it? Go ahead and tell me. I gave my permission. Right now, in the sacred forest, we are facing a crisis of thinning trees and a lack of new growth. Please lend us your wisdom. She requested to me. Well, I'm not sure what to tell you. Then I think deeply. Few seconds later I remember something. I should ask this to her first. I guess I should at least ask, are you thinning the forest properly? I ask, but to say the least she seems to be surprised to my question. Thinning, what exactly do you mean? She asks. I I subconsciously let that out as I am making a, what you don't know it, face. It's the practice of felling a modest number of trees to make room for growth. This is all common knowl. I was about to say, common knowledge, but, also the dark elf Aisha is looking at me with a dumbfounded face. Or not, I guess. I thought to myself, when you leave fully grown trees in place, their crowns block out the sunlight, preventing younger trees from growing. Trees left to grow unchecked will compete for each other's resources, so you end up with nothing but old growth. A forest in that state is vulnerable to snow and wind. The lack of sunlight also causes undergrowth to wither, so the soil starts to dry out, making it susceptible to landslides and the like. I explained to her. The dark elf Aisha was amazed to my explanation that she made a funny face. Sire, Aisha suddenly kneeled in front of me. Causes me to be surprised to her sudden action. What? I asked. I pledge my lifelong loyalty to you. She suddenly declared. Huh, I said in disbelief to what she just said. If you command me to fight, I will fight. If you command me to die, I will die. If you command me to be your concubine, I will. Please, come to the sacred forest as soon as possible. And there, teach us all about this, thinning. She boldly declared as she is kneeling while having her head down. There was a short moment of silence as we are in shock. Sure thing, I managed to say in shock. Rimmeru, original, Pav. Excel and I are currently having some tea together at the balcony. We are also eating the cookies I made earlier. Excelchin, it looks like a messenger dove from Juna is coming, I said to her as I took a sip of the tea. Then a messenger dove landed. You are correct, Okasama, Excel said as she take out the letter from the dove's feet. So, what was in the letter? I asked. It sounds like things are getting interesting over there. Excel happily said as she hands me over the message. It is getting interesting over there, even now that is. I casually said to Excel as I had a smirk on my face. Tell me, Okasama. You had your parallel existence inside the castle right now, right? She excitedly said to me. Wakata, alright, I will tell you what is happening currently right now. I sigh in defeat. I explained to her what is currently happening inside the castle. How it is currently being broadcasted, how this dark elf named Aisha Udgard refuses to bow or kneel in front of Soma, then moments later offered the allegiance and loyalty to Soma. And now currently it's already Juna's turn. Oh, about that. Since I have my parallel existences inside the castle, I projected the image and had the audio. Just like how this crystal casting system works, but it is similar. Currently we are watching it via projector I got from open corner bracket imaginary space close corner bracket to watch what will happen next. I almost forgot to mention. Excelchin was dumbfounded when I bring out the projector. Which was very cute and funny at the same time. And now she is pouting at her own mother. Soma Kazuya Pav. Next, Juna Damadono. Please, step forward, Marx said. Hi, sir. The beautiful girl named Juna said as she comes forward. Yabe. She is too beautiful. Also she has some no, don't have those thoughts me. I thought to myself to calm down. Ooh, most man present here said in amazement how big is her breastis. Ooh, I subconsciously said out loud as I stared at her beauty. I was mesmerized by her white skin and very pretty face. Then I suddenly went back to reality as Lisha coughs to avert my eyes away from Juna. Shimada. Oops, I stared too much at her. And also what is this? Lysiasan, are you perhaps jealous? I thought to myself as I said. Yeah, I remember what I'm supposed to be doing here. Quit glaring at me like that. I whispered to Lisha as she smiles at me, but her eyes are not. HMPF. She then looks away from me pouting. Your Majesty, this woman possesses unparalleled beauty, as well as a singing voice incomparable to any other. She may rightly be called the greatest Shantos of our time. Marx said. A voice to match such a face. So the heavens do bestow dual blessings. I commented. Your praise is more than I deserve. She humbly said. From what I am told, Doma family is descended from Lorelei. Her vocal talent may be in her blood. Marx informs us. Lorelei. Sea monsters who used their charms to lure sailors to their doom, right? I thought to myself. The singing voice of a Lorelei, you say? I'd very much like to hear that. I requested. If that is what you wish. She said. Oh, I know. We have the crystal cast set up to televise this ceremony throughout Elfrenden. Could you sing us a song to inspire the nation's people? I requested to Juna. A song to inspire the people. Most of the Lorelei songs that my family has passed down are generally melancholy in tone. What I mean to say is that I simply don't know any uplifting songs. If I were to hear one, I could sing it right away. She says. If you were to hear one. I then realized I had my smartphone with me and the earphones. Then I got it out of my pocket. Then, I said as I opened my smartphone and looked for a music. Lisha said subconsciously as she wonders what is in my hand. Hua, Mark said in curiosity. Ooh, the rest in unison as there were also curious. I went to Juna and handed out a pair of my earphone to her. She then puts it on and looked dumbfounded about it. To be honest, I find it cute. I honestly thought as I opened my Bluetooth to connect the earphones. What is this? She nervously but curiously asked. This, I guess you could call it a device for playing music. I explained to her in a simplest way. All right, you ready? I asked her as I ready my hand to play the music anytime. Why yes, Juna said as she nods. Then I played the music. She then enjoys the music she hears. What a cute reaction, I thought to myself. After the music finishes, I then remove the earphones from her ear. Then she had a flustered expression as she giggles. That was a song from my homeland. I said, does that mean I just heard the language of another world? She excitedly asked. Yeah, it's probably going to be hard to sing if you don't know the language. I worryingly said. Oh, it's no issue. I remember it phonetically, so I can simji it Aussies. Juna said proudly. You listened to it one time and you already have it memorized. That's amazing. I praised Juna as I am really amazed from her talent. That is most kind of you. She bows elegantly, then she smiles at me. Damn, she is so hot. I secretly thought to myself. Very well, I will sing it for you now. She smiles brightly. Atami Yuji Pav. It was already morning, after the enemy attack. Right now Karata and I are looking around of the battlefield. As I walk around I saw a crow flying over and some birds that I know the name of. There are also some SDF troops with me but we are just few. I then saw a broken bow laying around. I crouched as I looked at it. I heard we killed 60,000 of them. Karata informed me. There were 60,000 in Ginza too. That's 120,000 in total. I said to Karata. Are you worried about the enemy? He asks. I mean, there are 120,000. I wonder what kind of nation we are fighting against. I said as I threw the broken bow out of the air. At the Imperial City 3rd POV. Your Majesty, we expect over 120,000 causalities total among all nations. The defeated armies are returning home, leaderless. Marcus informed to the Emperor. Everything is going according to plan. Our neighbors are no longer a threat to our empire. The Emperor said in relief. Burn every village and town from Alnus to the imperial capital. Poison their wells and take their food and livestock. That will stop any army and leave them vulnerable. The Emperor ordered Marcus. Impulse strategies, I see. Defectors and the loss of tax revenue are quite worrisome. Marcus then complained. Defectors? The Emperor asked. There are motions recalled within the Senate, beginning with Marquis Castle. Marcus reported. Ha ha ha, this is the perfect chance to take care of the whole Senate in one go. Allow us to order the council to investigate. The Emperor said and ordered. Your Majesty, a woman said as she opens the door. The woman then enters the chamber and walks towards the throne. My daughter, what do you need? The Emperor asked to his daughter. It's about Alnus, naturally. I have received news that an allied army has faced defeat, and the Empire's holy ground, Alnus Hill, has been occupied by enemy forces. What are you thinking at a time like this? The princess asked with a bit of high voice. We will use this opportunity to take back the hill. Marcus tries to explain. How selfish. What will that do against the enemy invasion? The princess asked Marcus furiously. Pina, you are correct. Yet we don't know anything about the enemy occupying the hill. This is perfect. Can I ask you and your knights to find their position? The Emperor said and asked to her daughter Pina. Me, and the Rose Order of Knights. Pina shockingly asked to her father. That's right. This is to prove that your Order of Knights is not just a child's play. The Emperor said to Pina. Pina was upset from what her father just said to her knight's order. She was heavily insulted from this as she makes a furious expression. I understand, Your Majesty. Pina fixed herself as she kneels in front of her father. In the White House. What on earth is Japan doing? They went through all the trouble of getting to the other side of the gate, yet now they're just sitting there like turtles. Durrell complained. The self-defense forces must investigate the politics within the special region and determine key locations. The informer said. He. The gate is the new frontier. Surely, there are more resources on the other side than we can imagine. It must be a treasure trove. What do you think? Should we send our army in? Durrell asks to his cabinet. That may not turn out well. There are many nations who anticipate the defeat of Japan. Just let Japan take the risk for us. His advisor advised to Durrell. We should keep our country from being seen as an accomplice. Durrell said to his cabinet. Back to the special region, Atami Yuji Pa. We have come to the conclusion that investigating the people, industries, religions, and politics of this region is necessary. My commanding officer said to me. Currently I'm back at the camp. To the office's temporary headquarters to report. As of right now I am being tasked of something. An investigation, I asked. Good idea, I added. This isn't a game. You're going, he ordered. No way, I said. He dropped the papers in shock. Don't say I'm going alone, I added. Obviously not. First, we will form 6 deep recon teams. Your mission will be to lead one of them. Interact with the people in that town and determine their nature. If possible, create a friendly relationship with them. My commanding officer ordered. Okay, I guess I can do that, I said as I was scratching my head. Good. Great. First Lieutenant Atami Yuji, I hereby appoint you to be in command of Recon Team 3. He commanded. Well, after I left the headquarters tent I went to the location where my team is waiting for me. Fall in, a soldier said. Then all of them stood up straight while a familiar man saluted to me as he says. Recon Team 3, reporting for duty. Hey, I then saluted also. Ito. I then first looked to all of the Recon Team 3 members. The list of Recon Team 3. First Lieutenant Atami Yuji, gender, male, age, 33, team leader team captain. Sergeant Major Kuwahara Suichiro, gender, male, age, 50, second in command. Master Sergeant Nishina Tetsuya, gender, male, age, rifleman. Sergeant First Class Tomita Akira, gender, male, age, 27, rifleman. Sergeant First Class Kurakawa Mari, gender, female, age, 23, combat medic. Sergeant First Class Kuribayashi Shino, gender, female, age, 24, close combat specialist. Sergeant Kurata Takeo, gender, male, age, 21, driver. Sergeant Azuma, gender, male, age, driver. Leading Private 2, gender, male, age, rifleman. Leading Private Tozu Daisuke, gender, male, age, rifleman. Leading Private Katsumoto Wataru, gender, male, age, heavy weapon specialist. Leading Private Sasagawa Hayato, gender, male, age, M2HB gunner. Leading Private Furuta Hitoshi, gender, male, age, rifleman. Leading Private Higashi Azuma, gender, male, age, driver, rifleman. Tuam Atami, commander of the Special Region Recon Team 3. I nervously introduced myself. All because I missed a train in Yurikamome that day. Now I'm a squad commander. I murmured it to myself in a low tone of voice. Well, how about we get going? I said. Just who is this guy? I heard Kuribayashi murmured it out. I decided to just ignore it. Let's go. My second-in-command Kuwahara-san ordered to the rest of the team to move out. We all then rode and left the headquarters. All of the soldiers who were watching the perimeter saluted to us as we set off. After some time in silence, we arrived at Kota village. Mari was chosen to interact with the villager first so that they wouldn't be so tense. The kids liked it as they lauded. Then we already talked to the village chief. There was actually one more village just down to the forest, and it was quite a drive. So we left the village to go into that other village. When we arrived the supposedly forest in there, we saw a flame dragon destroying something. As I looked into my binoculars I joked to Kuribayashi saying, Kuribayashi-chan, could you go with me on this one? As to tease her. Hell no, she coldly replied. Then suddenly Kuwahara-san said to me, Captain, isn't that supposed to be a village in that forest? Then the shock and silence was there for us as we realized that we were watching the doom of the village. Rimmeru, parallel existence POV. I'm surprised that Juna can just memorize the whole song by just hearing it once. I thought to myself in amazement as I am proud to Juna. She then starts to sing. I'm not afraid of getting hurt. But I'm not strong, either. I just don't want to regret not being able to do anything. Juna then have a short pause. Everyone including me were amazed and impressed from Juna's voice. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I and Soma currently understand what Juna is singing right now but the rest do not. That is because the one Juna is singing right now is in Japanese. Only Soma and I can currently understand Japanese since we are both from Japan. Well, for my case now is different though, I am not a Japanese anymore since I got reincarnated. From being a slime, now I became a true deity with omniscience and omnipotence. In Soma's case he got summoned here in this world. That is the only difference we had. I thought to myself. Here we go. Go. I'll just run on. And let nobody stop me now. I wanna find my future self. And give her a reason for life. As Juna finishes singing she then bowed and the whole audience clapped their hands for her wonderful performance. Thank you so very much for listening to my song. She thanked everyone. No, I should be thanking you. You have a wonderful singing voice, said Soma as he praises Juna. If possible, I would very much like to learn more songs from your Majesty's homeland. Juna requested. Soma just smiled. It's time to make my entrance and also sing. I made up my mind to show up in front of them at this moment. Era, looks like you have enjoyed my daughter's performance, Your Majesty. I said in a motherly and sexy voice as I removed my invisibility. Everyone was surprised, bewildered, and some mesmerized by my beauty. Some are on guard, especially the guards, Lisha and the head of the Royal Knights Ludwin Arcs. You don't have to be that tense on a pretty lady, don't you think so? I asked them in a teasing way as I looked at Soma with a smile. Soma Kazuya Pav. There is this woman in her 20s with beautiful bluish silver hair, those attractive golden eyes, and her face are out of the question the most beautiful woman I've ever seen aside from Juna. No, her beauty was way more than Juna's beauty. Is she Juna's mother? Is she a Lorelei? I thought to myself as I was so astonished in her beauty. Who are you? Ludwin angrily asked to the mysterious woman. Please wait, Your Majesty. Juna said to me as she bows. Let me introduce you to her. She is Rimmeru. You can say she is my mother but she is way more older than her looks. She introduced the lady named Rimmeru. Era, thanks for the introduction sweetie, Rimmeru-san said to Juna. Ehem. I cleared my throat. What is your business with us, Rimmeru-san? I somehow formally asked her for some reason. Well, I just came here to see you personally, and also give you some service, sire. She said as she elegantly bowed. I gave my men a signal to lower their weapons since I don't see some hostility in her. So, what service are you going to give me, Rimmeru-san? I formally asked. Ito, I will also sing a song from your homeland, Your Majesty. She happily said. Wait, did Rimmeru-san just said a song from my homeland? I asked myself to make sure I heard it right. That is right, sire. Did she just communicate with me in thoughts? I asked myself again. Now, do not panic, Sumakun. I will explain everything later. Now say something or someone will notice that you have been spacing out now, Rimmeru-san teasingly said. A song of my homeland. I asked so that it wouldn't seem that I spaced out. Yes, a song from your homeland. Are you ready to hear my song? Your Majesty, she teasingly asked. Very well, let's hear it. I stuttered a bit. Rimmeru-san then starts to sing. What was the title of the song she sang, you ask? The title of the song was, Single Again, by Takeuchi Maria. The way she sings it, my tears somehow started to flow. I don't know exactly why. But I am really grateful to hear a song from my homeland again. Although I had some of my phone, someone singing it elegantly and beautifully is different. That is how Rimmeru-san got our whole attention to her. At first I doubt that she really is singing in Japanese, but that doubt soon have gone away as Lisha asked me if that was also a song from my homeland. I also forgot to mention because I was so moved by Rimmeru-san's singing. There was also music in it. There are also some people who just got out of somewhere started to play the instruments. It was so beautiful that it made me remember my grandfather who just died until recently. As she finishes singing the song, all of the people then suddenly vanished like they were never there as Rimmeru-san bows and everyone clapped their hands at her performance. Roroa Amidonia Pav. I was currently reading a report coming from one of my spies in Elfrenden Kingdom. Then Sebastian comes inside of the room. I see you are as intent as ever on gathering intelligence from all quarters. He commented. Valuable intel is worth its weight in gold. Information is a merchant's lifetime, after all. I said to Sebastian as I read the letter. Has there been any news of interest? He asks. It looks as though this new Elfrienden king is doing a massive nationwide recruiting drive. I answered. Does that mean those moldy old nepotistic retainers weren't up to snuff? Sebastian asks again. Sure seems like it, though we're honestly in a bit of a glass house ourselves on that front. I said as I laid my back on the chair. He said as he thinks. Then again, when someone is truly gifted, they'll be the one judging their employer. I commented. Third Pav. His generosity accenting to the Dark Elf War Maiden's request did not disappoint. I look forward to seeing how he will employ the Lorelei-descended Shantos and her mother. I suppose I could say. However, the true test is about to begin. The man in black traditional Japanese kimono thoughts to himself as he looks to the nervous Pancho. Next, Sir Pancho Panicotta of Pot Village. Please, step forward, Marx the Prime Minister said. Why yes, your Sirness, yes, Pancho starts to walk but he tripped himself due to his nervousness. But Rimmeru who saw it didn't let it happen and intervened a bit that people can't see. She used magic to help him. Oh, please excuse me, Pancho said nervously. Giggles, the one who was giggling was none other than Rimmeru herself. Ahem, Marx cleared his throat as to signal Pancho to fix himself in front of the king. In which he did. This man boasts a talent for eating. Many volunteered with alleged gifts of gluttony, but there were none who could best this man. Further, his quest for food has been no ordinary one. He has traveled the world over, sampling the specialties and delicacies of every region, and he claims to have eaten just about everything there is to eat. Marx finished the summaries of Pancho. Just what I needed. Soma suddenly stood up from his throne in happiness. Thank you for answering my call. Soma then walks to Pancho who was nervous and shaked his hand. I've been waiting for someone like you, he proudly said. Pancho said in surprise. More than any of the other talented people here, I'm delighted to have you on board. Soma proudly said to Pancho. Why your majesty, I delighted that I'm here. Everyone always called me a fatso, and said I was a fool to squander all my money for the sake of food. Diablo, find those people who are making fun of Pancho and bring them to me later. Rimmeru ordered via thought communication to Diablo. As you wish, Okasama. Diablo answered. Hold your head high. Your lavish, boundless gluttony will save this kingdom. Soma proudly declared to Pancho to cheer him up. Are you sure about that? Pancho asks. Yes. Soma nods. Your experience sampling the world's many delicacies will be the key to saving the nation. Please, allow me to draw on your expertise. Soma recognized the talent that Pancho had. Why yes, sire. If my knowledge is of any use to you, please use it as you see fit, yes. Pancho confidently said yes to Soma. The black-robed man who was witnessing this smiled. Marx, we have a tradition where if a subject distinguishes themselves, or the king has great expectations for them, he dubs them with a name, right? Soma excitedly asked Marx. That is correct, sire. Marx was taken aback for a bit then replied. In that case, Pancho, I grant you the name, Ishizuka. Soma declares. Pancho was taken by surprise. In my homeland, it was the name of an insatiable seeker and advocate of food. I trust you will work diligently to live up to this name. Soma declared and said to Pancho to live up to the name, Ishizuka. The sight of King Soma receiving Pancho was sent throughout the nation, and thereafter, many people of talent thought to themselves, if someone like that can make the cut, then what am I waiting for, and made their way to Elfrienden. Your Majesty, these preceding three all nominated themselves, but the next man was a referral. Marx informed Soma. Oh, Soma said in keen interest. And now, Sir Hakuya Kwanman. Please, step forward, Marx said. Yes, sir, the black-robed man in a traditional Japanese kimono named Hakuya said as he came forward. This man has exhibited a talent for intellect. It is believed that his knowledge and memory are unrivaled in the kingdom. Marx summaries the description of Hakuya. You were put forward by another. Who recommended you? Soma asks. The uncle I live with said that I was getting too old to sit around reading books, and that I should go out and be a productive member of society. He volunteered me without asking. Hakuya answered Soma's question. You are basically saying that, get your ass out of here you nerd, kind of way huh? Rimmeru thoughts to herself as she just smiles with an awkward face. Soma meanwhile just laughs for a bit. What is it? Hikuya asks. Oh, I was just remembering how I used to get that a lot myself. Soma was reminiscing the past for a bit, then stood up from his throne. What genres of books do you tend to read? Soma asks a question. I have no preference among genres. I read cultural works, of course, as well as history, law, and military tactics. Assimilating knowledge unknown to me is my raison d'etre. Hikuya answered Soma's question. I see. In that case, how would you like to be a librarian in the castle library? You would have free access to books that are off limits for civilians. Soma offered to Hikuya. Ooh, that would be nice. Please, by all means. Hikuya pauses for a second. Is what I would have said moments ago. Hikuya continued. But not anymore. Soma asks. No, I have changed my mind. Hikuya answered. Well, what would you like, then? Soma again asked Hikuya a question. Hikuya then bows to Soma and said, if I may be permitted, I would like to use my knowledge to underpin your majesty's hegemony. Hikuya requested. Hegemony. Bold choice of words. And he wants to underpin it with his knowledge. Does he want to be my military strategist? Soma thought to himself as he looks at Hikuya. Are you saying you have what it takes to do that? Soma asks to Hikuya. I would certainly like to think so. He proudly declared to Soma. Soma was bewildered a bit from Hikuya's confidence. Then he thinks for a bit. You said that you'd changed your mind. Why? Soma asks to Hikuya to why did he change his mind in the first place. Pardon my impertinence, but I have been here sizing your majesty up, judging whether you were a ruler worth serving. Hikuya told his intention. And you've come to the conclusion that I am a worthy ruler? Soma asks. Hikuya then looks to Poncho and answered. Your decision on whether or not appoint Poncho was my litmus test for you as our king. Hikuya declared. Huh. Poncho was shocked by what he just heard. Even if you had not immediately recognized his worth, appointing him in case he might one day prove useful would have been the mark of an adequate ruler. If you had judged Poncho's talent to be worthless, and rejected him accordingly, you would have failed. That was my thinking. I did not expect you to welcome him as you did. It was a most pleasant surprise. Your Majesty, you understand what is the country mostly needs right now. Hikuya summarizes what was his test all about to everybody present. Lisha was surprised by this, the rest are also the same. But some of them are think king, how dare he questions the king. Rimmeru meanwhile finds this interesting and entertaining at the same time. Lastly, Soma's reaction for this is that he was a bit shocked at this. But then he thinks of it that it was normal for the employee to think like this. I do believe that, just as you say, I understand the needs of this country. But are you the sort of retainer that I need? Soma smirks a bit as he asked that question to Hikuya to see what he will answer. I would like for your majesty to make that judgment. Hikuya confidently replied to Soma. Then there was a brief silence between them. Lisha was a bit annoyed from what Hikuya answered. Poncho meanwhile was all nervous from this, and the rest were scared, or cannot determine what just happened. But Rimmeru meanwhile already all guessed at what will happen in the future as she had a beautiful smile at her face. Very well. Pay a visit to my chamber later. I'll determine for myself just how gifted you are. Soma said to Hikuya. As you command. Hikuya replied as he bows respectfully to Soma. This was the first meeting of King Soma and Hikuya Kwanman, the man who would later be known as the Prime Minister in Black. That evening, after a conversation with Hikuya that extended late into the night, King Soma would acknowledge him as a man of rare ingenuity, and install him as his own right-hand man. But that was another story. In the meantime, let's go back to the present just after Hikuya and Soma finished talking. Rimmeru, parallel existence POV. Oh, by the way, this is your one and only beautiful Rimmeru. I'm the one who just narrated what will happen in the future. Finally, Tomo Inuidono, of the Mystic Wolves. Please, step forward. Marx called on Tomochan. Hi. Tomochan nervously said as she stiffened her body straight out of nervousness. She is a very cute child, it's just like the manga I would always see from before if there is a beastman like this. I thought to myself as I remembered the time I was still reading mangas for a long time. But that makes me remind a certain otaku dragon. Tomo nervously said and looked around. This girl has the extremely unusual talent of being able to converse with birds and beasts. Marx announced. Ooh, Soma said in keen interest at Tomo's ability. To verify this, she was shown to the stables, where she revealed everything from the horses' health status to their histories. According to her, she asked the horses themselves, making hers a truly divine ability. Marx happily claims and summarize her introduction. I wouldn't blame you why you think she has a divine ability being that it is rare. I thought to myself. The land of the mystic wolves is a great distance north of Elfrenden. Huh? Soma asks to Lisha. Yes. As far as I am aware, we have no mystic wolves living in the kingdom. Lisha informed Soma about her knowledge about the mystic wolves. Which would mean that there's a good chance she's a refugee. Soma commented. Lisha then glared at Soma. Soma looked confused, but then he realized what Lisha's glare for. But even if she is, it doesn't affect my promise to put her talent to use. He declared. Question is, how do I make the most of her talent? I heard Soma's thoughts. Then I telepathically replied, that is up to you, Sumakun. I said to him. He was surprised but, Anu, my king. Tomochan called Soma who seems to be in deep thoughts. What is it? He asks. Anu. Tomochan then got startled. Also have, something to tell you. She nervously said. You have something to say to me? Soma asks to Tomochan. That's quite all right, go ahead and say it. Soma said in a calm voice. I actually already knew what Tomochan wants to say though. I don't think it's a good idea for her to tell it out loud. I thought to myself. Hi. Anoo, as it happens. Tomochan being hesitant to tell it in front of people. Well, what is it? I need you to speak up a little, or I won't be able to hear you. Soma says to Tomochan. Sumakun, please take the hint. Tomochan is being hesitant to tell something because it can really change something big. I thought to myself as I watched this to go unfold. Anu. Tomochan then looks down as she knows what will happen if she was heard. Sumakun, just go near to her. Do not reply to the thought communication. Also act normally that you decided to go near to her. I finally gave Sumakun a hint as I pity Tomochan. Soma gets my signal. The bee just smiles to Tomochan and said. All right, I'll come down there to you. He said. Tomochan looks at Soma with surprise and bewilderment. It can be seen clearly on her ears and tail. Soma then walks toward Tomo and crouched his feet, then lent his ear to Tomo. Then he said. Okay, now you don't have to speak so loud, so don't be nervous, and tell me what you have to say. Soma said it as it was comforting his little sister. Hi. Tomochan nods. As it happens. Soma said in surprise from just what he just heard from Tomochan. As I thought, this is going to be fun to observe for a while. I thought to myself as I look at the current situation unfolds. Rimmeru, original, Pav. Aside from you are a great cook, you are also a great singer and an analyst, Okasama. Excelchan praises me. These are nothing special, sweetie, I said to her. But still, what could have that mythic wolf had said to cause King Soma to be surprised like that? Excelchan wondered. Then, I will tell you why. Do not tell anyone about it, okay? I said to her as I close my eye. Yes, Okasama. She excitedly said yes as I chilled. Oh really now, just where did that calculating and matured woman Excelchan have gone? I thought to myself as I smiled. Then I started to explain at Excelchan on why did Soma had a reaction like that.